Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats, and I have a couple things I want to talk about. Hi May. May got shaved maybe a month ago, so I don't know why they did this to her tail. I did it because she gets really bad, like almost dreads, and they're so close to her skin that I can't cut them out. She won't let me, so I get her shaved. Last year was the first time I ever did it. So she's adorable, but and she can keep herself clean so much easier. Something else, I just clicked on. I just made a video. It was AJ Dunn's BookTube Island tag video, and it was a lot of fun. Well, I went back because I knew I was doing this. I'm doing my 43 books to read before 43, and the first book I want to talk about, I just started, and I'm doing it with a buddy read with Jackie Q or Jackie Lou Book Q. She had just changed her name maybe a month or so ago. Time flies, it could have been longer, but I wanted to make sure I had her name right before I mentioned it in this video. And so I was clicking on my old videos. She doesn't make videos herself yet, so I'm not subscribed to her. But if she was to make videos, I definitely would be. Um, so I couldn't find, I was looking for comments to try and find her. And when I clicked on one of my videos, I have commercials. And so I only have 400 subscribers. I wasn't asked anything about it. So I don't know. I also noticed when I uploaded my video, it said something about they checked it for copyrights to make sure I didn't have anything in there. So this is something new that is going on, I guess, through YouTube. I just want to let you guys know I had nothing to do with it because commercials can be a pain to watch before videos. So yeah, I just want to let you know I had nothing to do with it. I don't know why they're there, especially since I'm such of a small channel. Anyway, 43 books before I turn 43. So the 13th, I turn 42. I'm like, how old am I? I turned 42. And Deanna at Pato the Reader, her birthday is that day also, but she's a lot younger than me. So, and then Angie at Literary Labors, she turns 42 the day before me. So, lots of birthdays happening. Okay, so the books I want to read. Most of these books have been on my bookshelves forever. And since joining BookTube, I have got all caught up. I love the buddy reads. I love the group reads. I love BookTube has changed my life. For someone who doesn't really have any friends and I don't really talk to people very much, my goal when I was a child was to have an A-frame in the woods back behind my parents' house and just eat muffins and have my dog, and that's that. So my life is very different from how I have planned it. But I'm very, happy that things are different. But I still miss that dream. Anyway, so yeah, I got all caught up. So what I'm saying is, BookTube has changed my life for the better in so many ways. I've had so many great friendships on here, um, through here, with you guys, and I'm just so grateful and that's why I'm not complaining about anything that YouTube decides to do, because I'm just so grateful that I can actually make videos and that I can have these relationships with you guys. Because otherwise, I mean, where would I find you? Where would I be able to talk to people about books, and have these connections that I have? So anyway, 43 books to read before I turn 43. So I will be on BookTube a year in July. I have been caught up with what everybody else is reading, and so some of these are new, from hearing booktubers talk about them, of course. But some of these I've been wanting to read for years, and I've set them aside because I get caught up in what everybody else is reading. So hopefully I can get to these this next year. Number one, I just started reading this. I'm doing this as a buddy read with Jackie over at Jackie Lou's Book Queue. And so, yeah, I haven't got into, I'm only on page 30, so I'm not far. I'm really loving the writing, though. I've kind of set this aside for a day or so because I'm so behind on the count. I think I'm 80 pages behind, and I'm getting ready to go to my mom's dinner. So hopefully, when I come home tonight, oh, I didn't even tell you what this was. This is Animal Dreams by Barbara Kingsolver. I love Barbara Kingsolver. She's one of my favorite authors. I've read everything pretty much besides there's one other book I haven't read of hers. Okay, sorry, I don't want this to take forever. uh, The Kingdom of Copper. I don't want to butcher. The name is a lot easier to pronounce than I make it. But this is the second book. The first book was King of Brass. I read it last year. It was so much fun. I want to get back to it. Oh gosh, I saw this on Beth Ann's channel and I can never pronounce. I'm always afraid to pronounce her name, but she has a great channel. I will link Beth Ann's channel below. Anyway, this is Jane Austen, The Secret Radical by Helena Kelly. I'm really looking forward to July, Jane Austen July. I'm going to be reading one of Jane Austen's novels, which I've already read all of them, besides her short stories or novellas. But I'm wanting to read one of her novels. I'm waiting to see what everybody else is choosing. I also think Bitter Single Ladies Read Romance is choosing, I think they're choosing a Jane Austen novel for their book that month. So we will see which one I read, but I'll be reading that in July. Leviathan Wakes. I got this on audio a couple months ago, and within a few minutes it started skipping. And you can't start a sci-fi type series and miss anything. So I took it back, but just the very beginning, I was just like, what is going on? So I bought the first two books. I want to get to Leviathan Wakes soon, like in the next month or so. Um, Chimes of the Lost Cathedral by Janet Fitch. This is the second book. The first book is The Revolution of Marina M. I absolutely loved it. I believe this is only a duology. So I believe that this book is it for the series. I think. I'm looking forward to it. So that makes me want to read it because I thought, oh no, if it's a trilogy or a series, I want to wait till the next book comes out. But I believe it's not. Okay, this book I was supposed to read last summer, and then I was supposed to read 5 years ago. I've read the first two books. I read Dead Man's Walk and Comanche Moon. Absolutely love them. I don't know why I'm stalling on reading this. Maybe I'll get to it this summer. Maybe not. My plans just get so stacked so fast. Anyway, Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. It's a well-loved book. I saw this on Kelly's channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I'll link her channel down below. This is Parade's End by Ford Maddox Ford. I believe there's four books, novellas in here. Yes, four. So I'm wanting to get to this today, or not today. This, within a year's time. Also, the funny thing is I won't start that one until I finish this one. This is a bind up of 5 books. This is Edward. This is Patrick Melrose, Edward St. Alban. I am absolutely loving these, and I wanted to finish this last year, and I didn't get to it because I kept getting caught up in other things. So I am on the 4th book. Well, I'm getting ready to start the 4th book whenever I pick it back up, Mother's Milk. And so there's only 5. So I'm close. But it's funny, I don't want to start this book until I finish this book, though they have absolutely nothing to do with each other. They're not about anything of the same. I go into books blind, so I'm guessing they have nothing to do with each other, but they have the same. I am one of those oddballs that love book tie-in covers. So you will see quite a bit of those. And honestly, I love those Lonesome Dove covers. Because I have the whole series like that. So, but I would love to see Robert Duvall as Gus on that. Okay. This is Leonardo and the Last Supper by Ross King. I'm not sure exactly everything this is about. I'm guessing the title tells me everything. I do know that Leonardo is 43 years old because I just read the first sentence and it says he's 43, which at that time, that's like your life expectancy. So, and he feels like a failure. That's all I know. But I'm really looking forward to this. This book I saw on Tanya's channel. She has her channel name is Bookish Topics. She has a great book club where they read big books. I'm gonna put this up close because I will totally mispronounce it. But I believe she is having a read along in May. I will not be joining it. I thought I could, but here's the honest truth, guys. Discord scares me and overwhelms me. I love buddy reads, I love group reads, but you get 10 or more people and I feel overwhelmed. I mean, I feel like I can't keep up with everybody. And so, yeah, I go on those discords and I see like 80 people and it freaks me out. I can't keep up with 80 people and their thoughts and be able to, discuss a book with that many people at a time. So I don't think I'll be joining the Discord, but she has it and I'll link her down below if you are interested. Okay. The Planet Factory, and oh gosh, the channel that I saw this on, I cannot really remember, and I hate that. I will link it down below and I'll put the Planet Factory. I want to say Expedition Through the Pages, something like that. I saw this on her channel, and I don't think she posts. I'm subscribed to way too many people. I don't think she posts videos all that often, but she has a book club called the X Book Club, and she is on Instagram. The X Book Club is on Instagram too. So the X Book Club. I hope I got that right. But she's someone I just found her through this, so I haven't got a chance. I'm subscribed to her, but I haven't got a chance to see all that she has out there yet. But this sounded so intriguing. I want to get to it. Okay. The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simmons. I'm trying not to get emotional. Okay, guys. So I think it's because it's Easter too. But this book has been sitting on my shelf for years. And I bought it brand new. And the reason why it looks like this is because this is the last book that my grandmother borrowed from me that she could read. My grandma, for years and years and years, she always went to the library. But, then she broke her hip and certain things happened and she couldn't get to the library anymore. So I made sure every week that I would go and take her books and help her clean her house. So this was the last book that she said, you know what? I don't think I was going to like it. I didn't like it at first or something. And then she ended up really liking it. But then she had like dementia. She couldn't focus to read anymore. So I would still be bringing her books, but she just liked having them around. Sorry, Mayfair's in the litter box. So I have not read it because when she said, "What did you think?" I was like, "Grandma, I haven't read it yet." And she's like, "Really?" So she's like, "I hate it when you give me brand new books because," and I was like, "Grandma, no big deal." But that's why I haven't read this book yet because it's like the last, type thing that. Anyway, I want to get to it before I turn 43. Lark Rise to Candleford by Flora Thompson. Keep a lookout, Angie at Literary Labors. I'll link her channel down below. Keep a lookout for on her channel because she's going to be doing something special in June that involves this book. So I hope to get to it then. The Histories, Herodotus. I probably mispronounced that. I saw this on Jack's channel at the the Rambling Racketeer. He had a read along for this last year, and I really wanted to join it, and I didn't, and I still haven't read it. So hopefully I'll get to it this year. Okay. This is a book that has sat on my shelf forever. The Forsyth Saga. This is the first book, The Man of Property by John Galsworthy. I watched this show years ago and loved it. So it is a drama. Hopefully the book is just as good, if not better. And it is a series. That's the first book in a series. So I never have watched this movie, The English Patient by Michael Odanche. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name. But yeah, I've never watched this movie, but I've heard so many great things. And I figure once I read the book, I'll watch it. I still haven't watched Great Expectations. Not Great Expectations. I still haven't watched War and Peace. I was waiting and I finally finished War and Peace, but I haven't watched the movie yet. Ooh, this book was recommended to me by a booktuber, and I'll have to write it down. Um, I will link her channel down below. She recommended 2 books to me in my booktube video, and this was one of them, The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Holbert. So I will write down The Sixth Extinction, and I will link her channel down below. That's when I did that booktube recommends. I still have quite a bit. I have 24, 25 I still need to read from that list. This book I've had on my shelf forever. It's Hild by Nicola Griffiths. I saw this. There used to be a TV show called, oh gosh, something about books. I think it was on PBS. Anyway, they would interview booktubers, or they would interview authors, and this was one of the. Sorry, like something came up on my screen. Interview authors, and I was intrigued by this book because I hadn't heard anything about it. So I need to get to that. Oh my gosh, Rick McDonnell, he did a read along for this starting in January, and let me see if I can do that without. Yeah, okay. He has a read along that started in January where he was reading the whole series. I read only 6 pages of this, and I know if I actually give myself time to get into it, that I'm going to really enjoy it. And I bought all 4 books, so I'll link his channel down below. He did the booktube spin tag, which was a lot of fun also. Anyway, yeah, The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams is the first book in the series. Okay, As I Lay Dying, William Faulkner. I have not ever read Faulkner. He's someone who I'm kind of scared of. Anyway, Scott and Becky at the Bookish Bryants, I'm reading this with them and a couple of other people. So it'll be nice reading this with a group and finally getting to a Faulkner. See, I'm thinking I'm not going to like him, guys. I have no idea though. That's just, when you go into a book with low expectations, you're usually not let down. Steve Donahue just talked about this book not too long ago. A friend gave this to me back in 2000. It's it's old. And it is set on my shelf since then. Through a Glass Darkly by Carleen Cohen, maybe that's how you pronounce her name. Anyway, I've heard good things, so we will see. Let's see. The Fall of Hyperion by Dan Simmons. You guys can probably figure out who I heard this from. Noah at Everyone Who Reads It Must Converse. He had a read along that he did with some guys or people. And I read the first book, Hyperion, and I really enjoyed it. So I have the second book. We will see. There's 4 books in the series. This book I'm hoping to read in May for not The Naturalist. They're not doing it. Springathon. I don't know if it's happening this year, but this is Chrysalis, and it's about Mariah Sibylla Moran, and it's by Kim Todd. Now, this woman, I want to say it was the 1600s, and of course I'm not going to be able to find it, but she was the woman that she used to observe insects, especially like the butterfly, and she would draw these. Oh my gosh, this is what I'm excited about. She would draw these amazing pictures, and she is the person that we found out that caterpillars and butterflies are the same the same insect. They used to believe they were two different types of bug. They didn't realize that they actually transform into. But I'm looking forward to her. Oh my gosh! So they have her actual illustrations. And I want to say it was the 1600s. Well, this one says 1705. Um, but amazing woman. I'm really looking forward to reading about her. Okay, Angie at Literary Labors. She recommended this book to me. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I've never read it. I've never watched the show. I know nothing about it. I know some people love it. I know some people don't like it. So I'm going in completely blind. I was hoping to get to this in April, but then my April TBR I decided to just, you know, I had so many books from March I haven't got to. So we'll see. I'll get to it before I turn 43, hopefully. 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hannah. Everybody's been talking about this book. It's just a little book, so I'm hoping anything that is bookish or about books, I'm all for. So hopefully I like it. I watched the show. I loved it. This is the first book in Elena Ferrante's series, and this is My Brilliant Friend. So I love the show. Hopefully I will love the book and continue on with the series, which I don't own. Okay, so this is the only book in the Kingbridge Chronicles that I have not read yet. A Column of Fire by Ken Follett. I had planned to reread The Pillars of Earth and World Without End. I read it last year, so it's all still fresh in my mind. And I read the prequel last month, no, in February. So this is the only one I need to get to, and then I'll be done with the series, and then I think I'll go and reread it. I love the other three books in the series. Also, I love anything that has to do with King Henry VIII's wives. This is a series of books. Of course, it starts out with Catherine of Aragon, and then Anne Boleyn, and then I'm not going to list all the wives' names, but anyway, this is the fourth wife, Anna of Cleve, The Princess in the Portrait by Alison Weir. So yeah, this is the one I wanted to start out with because this is the one that I know the least about. I believe she was set aside as a sister, and she survived King Henry VIII. So the last wife, Catherine Parr, survived him. And then there's Jane Seymour, which was wife 3. So that's all the wives. I guess I have mentioned all the wives. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Any Human Heart by William Boyd. I have not read anything by William Boyd. I know they turned this into a movie. I have not watched it. I have no idea what this is about. It's very heavy. I mean, for a book that's not really that thick, I don't know what it's made. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's very heavy, and I don't know what it's about. So going in blind, like normal. I have never read a Kate Moss, but I heard her be interviewed. I think I was listening to NPR when I had to drive back and forth. So it's probably been 2 years ago when I was driving back and forth when I lived in an apartment. But this is The Burning Chamber. I believe it's first in a series. Maybe not, because I don't know anything about it. Anyway, it's my favorite color is orange. So, I mean, it's just my lighting is bad. It doesn't show the true beauty. Okay, I'm reading The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm way behind, but I'm actually loving it. I want to also read The Three Musketeers, Alexander Dumas. This is the first book in a series. I don't know if there's 3 or 4. Amy at Zoe Beck is reading maybe the 3rd one. Heaven and Hell, John Jakes. I thought I read this trilogy, and I actually think I said in a video, oh, I love that trilogy. And then I was thinking, I haven't read the 3rd book. So I want to read that soon. Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. There's so many people reading this right now. I believe they're doing a read along over at Christy Dostoevsky in space, or is it Una and crypto at the Codex Cantina? Oh my gosh, my brain. I think this is one of Una's favorite books. I got this on as an audio through the library, and it would not, it was one of those audios, I don't know why, but it would not, nothing would stick in my brain. I was halfway through the book and I thought I couldn't even talk about what this was about. I have no idea. So I thought I'll get the book, and then I happened to be at a thrift store and the book is like perfect condition. Nice. So I hope to get to this soon. I won't be reading it with everybody else, but after I do read it, I'll be able to look at all the videos about it, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy them. This is a buddy read that I'm doing with Steve at Steve Talks About Books and Stuff. You know, I wrote it down, Steve, so don't worry. I'm it's this summer sometime. I'm thinking July, but I wrote it down on my calendar, so I have it. Anyway, you definitely check out his video. He's very organized, unlike me. So, The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell. I say this is recommended to me by Peg at the History Shelf, because when I had talked about it, she said, "Oh, I definitely recommend. It's a great series." So anyway, yeah, I have never read anything by him, so I just know Vikings maybe, and I believe there's a TV show on it. Okay, so this is Walden and Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. I started to read this. I got to page 18 and I felt like, boy, you sure are judgmental. So anyway, we'll see. I want to pick this back up sometime this year or next year before I turn 43. Okay, Swan's Way, Proust, Proust, Proust. I don't know what this is about, but look at this beautiful edition. This is a vintage. Ah, so beautiful. Anyway, yeah, I'm wanting to be able to say I read something by him. So we'll see. Free Food for Millionaires. This has been on my TBR since last year. This is by Min Jin Lee. I loved Pachinko, the other book that she's written. So I'm hoping to get to this book depository. I love that they give you a bookmark. I have not started this. I have no idea really what's about. I believe it's about a Korean family, but that's it. Okay, another TV show I loved was Younger. And so when I saw it was a book, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to read that." It was such of a fun. I don't know if it's still continuing on. I don't know when it stopped. I watched a couple seasons of it and then I don't know what happened, why I never continued on. I would watch it if it I just don't have time to watch much stuff. Anyway, this is by Pamela Redmond Citran, maybe. Oh, it's about a woman in her 40s who I don't know if she goes through, I'm guessing she goes through a divorce. Her child is now going off to college and she wants to get back in the workforce. And I believe she's an editor. She was an editor. And that's what she wants to do again, a book editor. So I love the whole thing with the books. But she cannot get a job because of her age. Like she's not hip and young and fun. So I don't know if she borrows her, I don't know if her friend gives her, like dresses her or something, or she borrows her daughter's clothes or something. And they actually hire her on thinking she kind of like lies to say she's younger and she passes. So, okay, this is another movie. I loved The Aftermath, and it's by Ridian Brooke, and I love this cover too. Oh my gosh! So when I got this in the mail, what 2 days ago, I started reading it and got to page 6, and I'm like, no, no, you can't read this yet. But I thought it was funny because there's so many people. I do not own. Actually, I have it coming in the mail, so that's a lie. I'll own it soon. That Brideshead Revisited. But it's funny because as soon as I open this up, there's a quote by Evelyn Wan, who Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, she actually told me, told all of us, Evelyn Wan is actually a man. I don't know if he was in love with a woman named Evelyn or married to, I don't know. But the quote is, "It doesn't seem to make any sense, one family in a place this size." And I thought Brideshead Revisited. I watched the movie and I thought it was very good. Anyway, the aftermath. I'm so guys. I could have kept reading, but I gotta get caught up on the count and other things I got already going on. That's what this month is for, catching up. Okay, Romantic Outlaws by Charlotte Gordon. I've heard so many people talk about this book. Just offhand, Kate Howe, I think, had a read along with this last year, and I've actually had it for years. But when I saw her doing that, I thought, I'm going to do it. And there's just too much. I didn't even start it. So, but also Jennifer Brooks, she also talks about how she loves this book. So I want to get to it soon. And I do know um, things about Wollstonecraft and Mary Shelley. So, okay, this is a movie I watched years ago. I loved it. I found it because of Tom Hardy. He's one of my favorite actors. Child 44, Tom Rob Smith. This is a series. It has true events that have happened in here. I want to get to it. And the last thing, Ben at Bookshore had talked about this book also. The Name of the Rose by Echo. What's his full name? I forget. That's horrible. And that's one thing about these classics. They don't have the full name. Umberto Eco. Um, yeah, I think this is going to be so interesting. I think all you have to do is say something about a priest or a religious. Oh, it's a detective too. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be very good. Okay, so that's 40. If I counted right, my math, I'm not very good. Uh, that's 43 books to read before I turn 43. So I'm excited, guys. The thing is I've always wanted to do 40 books before you turn 40, 50 books before you turn 50. And I was like, I don't want to wait that long to do the 50. And I missed the 40. I missed the 30. I missed the 20. Um, even though I've been reading my whole life. So it's time. I figured I'd just create my own 43 books before I turn 43. Anyway, let me know if you have any thoughts about any of these books. Um, I'm excited about every single one of them. So, yeah, let me know if you guys have done any of these type challenges or if you plan to do any of these challenges. And I hope you have a happy Easter and thank you so much for watching. Bye.